So we begin our little talk about basic of elementary Tibetan astrology, and just to introduce you, before I introduce you to the matter, I would like to pay homage to my teacher of astrology, who is Lama Lop Sangdarji, and I'm sure that some of you remember him because he used to live in London before he passed away in 2010. So what I would like to say about Tibetan astrology, it was formed in like Tibetan medicine as well. It was formed with different schools: Chinese astrology and some elements of Bon and some elements of innate Tibetan astrology. And the main text of astrology, which I'm following thanks to Lama Lop Sangdarji, was written by Lochen Dharma Shri in the 18th century, and it is called Elementary Astrology, Secret Teaching Like Moonlight. So, what we have to understand straight away, that all astrology, the practical and useful part of that is on the cosmic turtle. Cosmic turtle, it is a symbol, it is a legend. Basically all the teaching is put on this painting. So cosmic turtle represents one of the manifestations of Manjushri, and also legend says that Manjushri himself shot the cosmic turtle who was flying through the skies. And this is how we see the representations of the elements on the turtle. So since Tibetan astrology, this part of astrology, talks about elements, because there are three parts of Tibetan astrology: one in stars, one works with secret channels, and one with elements. I talk about only elementary astrology. So this cosmic turtle represents the system of elements, and this is very multi-layered system of elements. It is represented on the turtle on the flat surface, but once we start working with it, we need to include our imagination, and we need to be able to visually and spatially switch between like windows on the computer screen. Because sometimes some of the elements of the turtle would probe out, and sometimes others, and sometimes third, and there are many layers. So this we have to understand from the beginning, so we avoid confusion. When I talk you through these layers, I will always point out that I talk about that layer, I talk about this layer. And it's very easy once we open our mind that we need to switch these layers. So layer number one is the directions of the world, like south, north, and east and west, and interdirections. They are all represented on the turtle. The head of the turtle is south, and the bottom of turtle is north. Here would be east and here would be west. So you see, the map of Tibetan view is upside down. And this is our first challenge as Westerners. We have to admit that we have to cancel our view of map, because our view of map is on the paper. Tibetan view of map is how we see the sky, how we see the sun. We imagine that we are turned towards the sun, and this is our south direction. And this is how this map is represented. So when we turn our face towards the sun rises on our left and goes in front of our eyes through the south and sets on the west. Then every direction of the world is linked to elements. So we start our calculation from the east, because the sun rises on the east. And on the east it will be element of wood. So this is the astrological elements. Here on the painting, it is represented by the young spring of tree. Sometimes on some other tankas of cosmic turtle, we can see the wooden part of the sword of Manjushri, which pierces the turtle. Then the west is represented by the sword of Manjushri, which is blade. Or sometimes in other tankas we can also see the blade of the sword coming out of the left side of the turtle. Okay, so west will be represented by metal. So this is wood, this is metal. Then what happened to the turtle when it was shot by Manjushri? Turtle got very angry, and this anger manifested as fire on south, on her head. And also turtle got frightened because turtle started to die and got frightened by death and peed over itself. So this lake represents the urine of turtle, cosmic turtle. So as we can see, south is related to the element of fire and north is related to element of water. Then we have one more element left, which is earth, and earth is linked to the limbs of the turtle. You see, they also painted in yellow, and yellow represents the color. This color of yellow represents the element of earth. So this is it. This is first part. Then, on the belly of cosmic turtle, this tanka I took from our website because you can see animals very well, better than on this one, but you can imagine. So, 12 animals which represent the years, the 12 years, they are located on the belly of cosmic turtle in a way so that they represent the elements. Okay, so if we start from east, there will be tiger and hare, and tiger and hare, they are connected to the wood element. Then going straight to the north, snake and horse will be fire, monkey and bird will be metal, and pig and rat will be water element. And all interdirection ones, those animals who are positioned on the limbs of the turtle, they all represent earth element. So this is dragon and sheep and dog and ox. So they are connected to the element of earth. To say that, all these animals, they, through their element, they connected to one of the four aspects of our existence, which is called life or vitality, and in Tibetan it is called soul. I'll show you how to use it on the table, but in the chart of the horoscope. But at the moment, we remember that. So all the elements of the animals represent our vitality. For example, if someone like me was born on the year of snake, my vitality is represented by fire element. If someone was born in the year of monkey, their vitality would be represented by the element of metal. Okay? So this is one thing. Then another thing. There is another layer. So now we move to another layer, which is called elements of the year. Elements of the year, there are 5. And, oops, sorry. Okay, yes, it's here. And I will show you these elements on this chart. So this will be, sorry, this is wrong. Cancel that. The elements of the year, it will be, again, same. Wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. And how do we know about those elements, because you remember that year always have every year has a name. Like, for example, this year is Earth Dog year, or previous year was Fire Bird year, and so on. So where it comes from, this first part, the element. This element just represents the power of the year. Okay? And once we have full circle, every element is repeated twice. 1 year will be a year of fire. For example, before we had fire monkey, and then next year animal will change to the bird, but the element will still remain same, fire. Now we have earth dog, and next year will change animal, but same element will remain, earth pig, and so on. This way, all these 12 animals combined with 5 elements repeated twice make a circle of 60 years. And this is what is called Memtren, so the first cycle of Melwa. What is Melwa? It is some astrological category which we do not talk about today. I only mention it so you understand the calendar of Tibetan astrological system. And the 60 years makes a full circle. For example, if it begins in the year of wooden, let's say wooden tiger, and next time wooden tiger comes back to us in 60 years. So this will be first necklace. Memtren is called necklace of Mewas. But Mewa is 9. There are 9 Mewas. They are represented here also on the belly of cosmic turtle. The full cycle of Melwa, so that the same animal, same element, and same Melwa repeated, it will happen only in 180 years. So 3 Memtren make a full circle of Melwa, even though there are only 9 Melwas. But if you calculate, it will happen that way. It will be 180 years. And this is called.
Sorry, what's that thing in the Melwa?
Say again?
What's that thing in the middle?
This in the middle is a Melwa. Melwa is an astrological category, which I told I will not explain you full meaning of that because it requires another full time of lecture. I just only mention so that you can understand the system of years calculation in Tibetan astrology. And that's why this is how you can use, for example, Meriger calendar, because it's calculated. You see, Melwa year is called this, and year is this. So they calculate from with the Memtran and forgot the name. Another one. Sorry, just came out of my mind. It is anyway. Never mind, I will remember because it's just on top of my head, it just pop out. This is the thing, that this is full cycle of Melwas has 3 Memtrens, so 360 years cycles. Why do we need it? We just needed to calculate our year of birth and understand what is the situation with Tibetan astrological calendar. That's it. So this is just a theory, and when we start doing calculations for horoscope for 1 year or for life, then it comes handy. For now it is just the context. Okay? So I explained you how to work with, how to understand the animals and how they are related to the elements and the 5 elements of the year itself. And now we will look at relationship between elements. So, what is the important thing to understand about relationship of elements? Elements always have some interaction between each other. And these interactions, they can manifest in a way of positive combinations and in a way of negative combinations. One thing to understand is that we all consist on 5 elements, okay? And also, everything which is around us also consists of 5 elements, including time. For example, if we speak about only the year of birth and the current year, because time, of course, can be divided up until the minute of birth and minute of year when we calculate horoscope. But the principle is the same. Whatever we calculate, we always look at the relationship between elements. For example, my elements, they can come into interaction with the elements of the year if we look at the time. Okay? And what can be the relationship between them? Can be mother relationship, can be child relationship, can be friend relationship, or enemy relationship. And sometimes they have combination of same elements. Now I will talk you through that. If we imagine that elements are positioned in that way, it is always same order. Always wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. This order we need to remember. Okay, now we do some practical things so that you do not only look at the screen, but also you can use your own hand and keep it with you as a calculator. Okay? So, you look at your 3 fingers on the left hand, okay? And on these 3 fingers you have lines. Yes? How many lines do you have? 9. Because we include the ones which are on the bottom. We include all the lines. So these 3 fingers, they represent the belly of cosmic turtle. And here everything what we see on the belly of cosmic turtle, we have on these 9 lines. Sometimes we use 5 lines, sometimes we use 6 lines, sometimes we divide each line in 2, sometimes we use 9, and so on. So this is when we need to be creative and we need to have imagination to use these 3 fingers. But once we develop that, it becomes very easy. So first I'll talk you through these 5 elements because this is the basic. This line, which is in the middle of the index finger, is the wood. You see, so this is the belly of the turtle, which is pierced by the sword of Manjushri. Okay, so this is the wood. Then next is the head, you see? This one represents the head of turtle. And this is the south, and it is fire element. Another side of the turtle, or of our finger, is metal. And the bottom, right here, or bottom of the middle finger, is water. So where is the element of earth? If we have 4 limbs of the turtle, when we do not calculate animals, we don't need all 4, we only take 1, and it is right here on the upper side of upper line of the ring finger. This is the earth element, and this is how the order of the elements is respected. So look, will be wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. And we don't need to use our right hand, because right hand we use to write the horoscope. Okay? So we use the thumb to calculate. I'm showing so you can see, but you can use your thumb to touch. It's very handy. So to remember this well, I would recommend you homework to just memorize with touch of your fingers the order of the elements and go back also, because this is what will help you all the time. Now, if we go counterclockwise 1 step, this will represent the relationship of the mother. And this is like that. Wood. Mother of the wood is water. You see, you do 1 step counterclockwise, mother of the wood is water. Why? Because water is watering the plant, and plant is growing. Then mother of the water is metal. Why? Because in a dawn, when metal is cold from the night, the water condensates and gets birth on the metal. This is the legends say. I'm not making it up. So, mother of the metal would be earth. Why? Because where do we find metal? In the rocks, in the earth. Okay, so the metal is born from the earth. Mother of the earth is the fire, because fire warms up the earth and the earth somehow manifests. This is legend saying. Then mother of the fire is wood. Why? Because wood burns and gives birth to the fire. The relationship of mother is the best. So mother is the best for her child. So these three pebbles, it is called white pebbles, because in ancient time astrologers were using pebbles, white and black. But we use the little O's and little crosses. 3 pebbles is the best combination. So the relationship of elements, which is called mother, is the best. And then the child relationship is going clockwise 1 step. So for example, who would be fire for the wood? Fire for the wood would be child. And this relationship is neutral. Is neutral. Why? Because mother gives birth to the child. Mother, of course, loves the child so much to pieces, but still sacrifices, no? But child produced through the mother's body, created from nowhere, from nothing, from 2 cells, mother and father, and then created out of expense of mother's body. So child takes everything from mother. This is why relationship of mother between elements is excellent. 3 white pebbles. But child, who is very much loved but still takes a lot from mother, is neutral relationship. What is neutral relationship? Means that it can manifest as good, can manifest as bad, can manifest as just neutral, but has potentiality of anything, and then the secondary circumstances, secondary causes would influence manifestation of rather negative or rather positive outcome. So then, the relationship of friend is calculated also on the hand. We skip 1 step and we go clockwise. So, for example, the friend of wood would be earth, and we just make the step physically. Then the friend of earth would be water, and so on. So we skip 1 step. You can do it if you want. What will be the friend of water? Fire, yes? And it's also easy to imagine. Why? Because fire is warming up the water. Why we use these errors? Just to remember that this one is who to this one. So this one is the main element. It is the main element, whatever layer we calculate, whatever aspect we calculate. This is representation of yourself, for example. And another element will be something for you. Whatever it will be, aspect of vitality or health or power or whatever, but the other element will be something for you. So if it happens that the element is fire, and you know that water is here, fire is here, you make in your imagination this arrow, and you see how the arrow works. Arrow skips 1 step clockwise. That means it is friend. Friend relationship is the second best. It is very good. And we represent it with the symbol of 2 white pebbles. Relationship of enemy is other way around. So it is also skipping 1 step and going counterclockwise. Yes? And here also, with water and fire, the easiest way to understand is water kills fire. No, so water is enemy of the fire, and earth is enemy of water, because if you have a lake and you cover it by earth, lake is killed. No, or for example, why wood is considered to be enemy of the earth, because the roots of the tree can destroy the earth, and so on. Okay, so that is it. Then we have 5 combinations, because we sometimes happen to have same combinations of elements. And here, 2 are good, and it shows 1 white bubble. 2 earth and 2 water. And 3 are bad. Fire with fire produces more fire and burns, so this is bad. 1 black bubble. Metal on metal creates some, let's say, war, and produces 1 negative outcome. And wood and wood, they don't like to be too close together, because they don't have room to thrive, and then also produces 1 black. You can imagine this like I said, that way. For me, I like to use Tibetan medicine concept of tastes, and earth and water represent the sweet taste. So I remember that when to earth and to water, it is related to something sweet, so then it will be white bubble. Everything else, by exclusion, it will be black. But you can use whatever you like. So now, how we use that? We have 4 aspects of our existence. It's life, or vitality, in Tibetan it's called Sog, body, which is our health, power, and fortune. We also have 5th element is La. I did not put it into the chart, because basically when we calculate the horoscope for whole entire year, we tend not to use La, but we also can. So, now, how do we calculate these aspects? First of all, we need to understand what is our age in Tibetan. It is always +1, but I will explain why. Then we need to calculate all the elements of these 4 aspects related to our year of birth. Then we need to calculate same all 4 aspects of the current year. And then we compare in a way how we did with the relationship of the elements. Okay? And then we put the results, the bubbles we put in the column of result. Straight away I can tell you that this chart will not represent complete picture of 1 year horoscope and your outcome and potentiality of negativities or positivities to manifest. This is just first layer. Whole entire year is calculated with 7 different columns and 7 different categories of astrology, which I'm not talking today. But why I'm saying that? Because sometimes what manifests in this calculation can be outforced by another 7 categories, astrological categories. So sometimes we can see very bad result in here, but in the end, when we calculate carefully everything, we will see that it's not that bad. So that's why I'm saying now. So if you, for example, see any negativity in your first layer of chart, don't be afraid. Nothing wrong can happen. It's also just only a rough potentiality of negativity to happen, or positivity. Okay. So now we have to go through the Tibetan age. So, for example, how we calculate age in Western system? when the child is born, we can count this as a day 0. No? And the second day of life is counted as day 1. And the whole entire first year, we only count weeks and months, but we don't count as year 1, no? We count as year 0. And only when child arrives to the birthday, then we say, oh, this child is 1 year old. And then next year, this child will be whole year 1 year old. And so on. In Tibetan, it is counted from the day of birth. Sometimes people say, oh, it is counted from the baby in the womb. No, it's not like that, because sometimes baby is conceived in the previous year, so then what? We need to count 2 years? No, it's not like that. It is just from the moment when baby comes out from the mother, what happens that this current moment when the baby is born has these all aspects of life, body, power, fortune, and love, which I did not put, what we keep in mind, I explain, already. So this moment, the time. And the baby appears, and the light touches the baby's head, or whatever part of the body comes out first, and this makes imprint on baby's condition. Because this light, it is actually proven by the physicists, optics physicists, who made the, how do you call it, dispersed the light into the rainbow elements, basically. That every minute the combination of the light of this rainbow light is changing. So at the moment when the child is born, this footprint of the light already impacts the baby's life. And in Tibetan astrology, it is explained in words of element, in terms of elements. So then, baby carries all their life carries this imprint of the moment of the birth. So then we need to calculate. This year had the name of the animal. I give my example, as it would be easy. I was born in the year of fire snake. Even though I was born in the end of December. Okay, so for example, by now I'm 40 years old in 2018. But in Tibetan system, I will be 42. Why? Because on 22nd of December, there was still fire snake. So I got first animal, and we look. I got full animal in my garage. Number 1 was snake. The next year, I got another animal. And by today, I've got 42 animals, because now it is the year of bird, okay? So I had my 40th birthday on the year of, sorry, I'm confused, today is the year of dog. On the year of bird, I got my 40th birthday in Western calendar, but how many animals in my garage are parked? 41. And today, even I'm still 40 years old, because it's the beginning of the year, it's far away from December, I have another animal arrived to my garage, which is dog. So I have 42 animals parked in my garage. And it's nothing to do how I feel myself. 2 years old, no, I'm sane. So please don't be discouraged that all of you are 1 or 2 years older than you thought you are. Okay, so this is just number of animals in your house, in your life, who entertain you. Okay, so that's how we calculate our age in Tibetan. This will be useful when we calculate the whole entire horoscope, because then it's for future information. But for example, here we calculate the aspect of life in a way how the animal is related to the elements. For example, I am snake, so my snake is located in the south of turtle and related to the element of fire. So my life element will be fire. Does anyone want to give an example of yourselves?
Fire horse.
You're fire horse. So horse is also on the south and also on the element of fire. So your sog, your vitality element, will be fire.
What does it mean to me?
What does it mean to you? It is just okay. I'll tell you.
Can I use anything like
Yes.
blow myself up? Do I need to increase fire?
No. This is different thing. This is first of all we need to calculate what we're talking today about how it is related to this current year. I'll explain how it is used to you in relation of current year. So number one, what is life element aspect or vitality aspect? It's basically what is your life forces. And you need to understand that life forces is just not like you are alive or you are dead. No, not at all. For example, if it's something negativity is appearing in this or that year, it does not mean that you necessarily will die. No, not at all. But it can tie you up, for example. Some circumstances can manifest that can be actually dangerous, but also we have to see what is the context, what other astrological categories are coming into picture, which would enhance negativity or decrease negativity. But yes, it is related to the entire strength of your life, and also the energy of La. What is the energy of La? Is this vital energy which keeps you alive. For example, when the La energy is in your body, you are alive. When it leaves, then you're dead. Okay? In these terms, La energy is mother of life. So when we calculate life, we straight away can know what is the La energy, is the mother of your life. For example, if my life energy is fire, then my La energy will be what? Mother is counterclockwise, one step back is wood. Yes? So, okay, this we discovered. Now we don't know what it means, because to know what it means, we need to calculate what is current year and what is the relationship between them. Then body, category of the body, is our health, basically, and everything which is related to health. And power is our ability to achieve goals. It is our financial situation, it is our profession, and also it can, for example, when the power is strong, then our life also would be stronger. If power is weak, then even though our life is fantastically positive, still can have some wave of cold wind which can weaken up the vitality. For example, a person who has in a certain year a strong aspect of power is able to avoid actions or situations which can bring injuries along. Okay? Or if it is weakened, then it can happen something very stupid and slept on the wrong side, injured joint, and then whole entire situation unfolded, and the vitality is weakened, even though originally vitality was strong. Okay? Then fortune is like, you see, it is building up. It's like a pyramid. Fortune gives strength to all of this, which are before. Fortune is like our good luck. Also, it is related to our spirituality and to ability to enhance our vitality and our power and our health. So if the fortune is strong, then everything is stronger. If fortune is weaker, then there is a higher probability to weaken all other aspects, which are above. And for example, we can feel what is the condition of our fortune, regardless what is the year prediction or forecast, because sometimes day by day it also can get stronger or weaker. If you have in your dreams that you fly in the air, that means that your fortune gets strengthened. And if you rather fall or trip yourself, then your fortune can, it can signify that fortune is weaker. By the way, speaking about dreams, if, for example, you are dreaming that you're walking downstairs and tripping and falling and waking up with jerking like this also related to the La. And this is when you lose some energy of La, of vital energy La. Then at that point it's very good to make the practice of 5 elements to strengthen the La. See, it's a little different to fall or to fall and wake up with a jerk. When we just fall to some deep or whatever, then it means that our fortune is getting weakened. When we trip and jerk and wake up, it means that we lose part of our La. Okay, so we spoke about life, how to calculate life. Then I will jump to how to calculate a power first, then I come back to the body at last, because it's slightly more complicated. How to calculate power is very easy. This is Buratian system. Tibetan system is very complicated, and why don't we use easy one? Again, we use the same order of the elements, and we use the last digital of the year. For example, the year which ends on 01, it has power of metal energy. Then which ends on 2 or 3 will be water, and so on. And we again can calculate it on the fingers. So we remember metal is 01, then water 2, 3, wood 4, 5, fire 6, 7, earth 8, 9. Very easy. We remember that 0 is metal. And Katrina told that she is fire horse. What year of birth would it be then?
Yeah, 6 or 7.
6, yes? So 66, I guess.
Thank you very much.
Sorry.
Very kind of you. Really made my day. Thank you.
Okay.
I remember.
Okay. So yours is 62. Which one will be? Which element will be of your power? Water. Yes. So it's very easy. Mine is 77. So it is fire and snake. So sometimes element of the animal and element of the power is the same, because animal happen to sit on that element, and the year of the number of the year can correspond to the power of element, which is the same. Then next is calculation of the fortune element. Fortune element is there are only 4. There is no earth element in the fortune, and this would be easy if you make a triangle. Like, for example, snake makes triangle with ox and with bird, and between these years will be like, for example, you calculate always inclusive. Number 1 will be the year of what you calculate. For example, we started to work with snake. Where is our snake? Here. So, for example, snake will be 1, bird will be snake, then horse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bird will be 5, then 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9 will be ox. But if you make on the 12 animals, you make the calculation of perfect triangle, then all these 3 animals will share one element of fortune, which is Lungta. So we can see here that water will be bird, ox, and snake, and metal will be tiger, horse, and dog, and fire will be pig, sheep, and hare, and wood would be rat, dragon, and monkey. So this is it. Then we put it into our chart. And how to calculate body? Body calculated in 3 steps. Step number 1, we need to find the key element in the chart of the key elements. Then step number 2, we need to calculate the relationship between key element and the power element, which we already know through the number of year. And then step number 3, we just need to look here and see what is the element of the body. It's a little bit complicated, I know. I will show you 3 different ways of calculating, and you choose the one suits you. So, I skip to the more visual part. For example, we imagine that our cosmic turtle tilted a little bit, okay? So, here the snake and horse, and the head of the turtle is like that. So basically, 4 animals share one element, one key element. If you take 2 animals, like for example, on the eastern side, there is tiger and hare, and on the western side, bird and monkey, they opposite of each other. And they share the element of water. You see it is in color blue. I did not say that the colors represent the elements, but I think you all know about it, no? Or should I remind you? You all know, okay. So then the next couple of animals will be dragon and snake, and those who are directly opposite of dragon and snake will be dog and pig. And they share all element of the metal. Then the next animals will be horse and sheep, and the couple who are opposite of them are sharing the element of wood. So this is the key element. It does not serve us anything except for just to do the next step. And now we know that if key element, for example, I work with my example, I am snake. So snake is metal, key element is metal, so I put my thumb on the metal element on my hand, and then I calculate until the power element, my 1 ton. I wrote here 1 ton is power. Sometimes I switch to Tibetan. I'm sorry for that. So my power element is fire, because my year of birth is 77. So it is 7 is fire. Look, you see? Not here. Here, you see number 7 is on fire. This is fire, power element.
What's those 9 numbers?
This is the year of ending of the year. 1977 finishes at 7.
Okay.
So this is why my power element is fire.
So about 1962 is mine too.
63.
2.
To 62. This is water. Yes?
Yeah.
So because it is ending on 2.
Right, so I didn't get that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So coming back to my example, that my power element is fire, because my year of birth ends on 7, and my key element is metal. So I start from metal, I make an arrow towards the fire, you see, and it will be 1 step skipped, we skip the earth, counterclockwise. So this is the enemy relationship. And we go to this chart and we see that enemy relationship is earth. So my body element will be earth. Okay? Now the third way to calculate. For me is easier, so that's why I would like to introduce you to that. Same way. I put my key element, because key element is calculated always identical. My key element is metal. To remind you, how did I calculate that? Because snake and dragon and dog and pig share the key element of metal. So I put my thumb on the metal element, and then I use this order of the elements, which is very different from the one which I introduced you, which is basic. This is the only exceptionally one for calculating the aspect of body. and the order is starting from metal. I don't know if you can see clearly, but this is the beginning. Then it goes in that order. And this is the last one, because the arrow shows to the first. Okay? Is that clear? Do you see it? So we start from metal. And even though that my element of the body is metal, key element of the body is metal, I need to go through the steps on the chart of the normal, regular order of the elements until my power element. Power element is metal. Power element is fire, which is on the head of the turtle. This is the head of the turtle. So I calculate metal, metal, water, earth, wood, and wood happened to land on my power element, which is fire. Maybe now it sounds a little bit difficult for you. Once you memorize on your hand the order of the elements and the animals, then it will become super easy, because you only use your thumb and your sensation on your body, kinesthetic, and your visual orientation. So you can imagine these elements. Then it becomes really super easy. For now, you can just write it down and take it with you. Okay, so it landed on the fire, and the wood element landed on fire. So my I start over. So sorry. Earth element landed on fire, so my element of the body is earth. So same as on this chart. You see, there was enemy, it is earth. And same way here. It landed on earth, so it is earth. Okay, now we calculate it all, and we see, I already put it in this chart. So my SSIUK vitality element would be fire, my body element would be earth, my power element would be fire, and my fortune element would be water. Okay, so this is for me. We can also calculate what is our condition between our elements inside this chart. This is quite useful. For example, the main element of all these aspects is life. So all of these will be some relation to this element of our life, of our vitality. The most strong relationship, which is advised to calculate, is power. So what is power to vitality? Because power strengthens or weakens our vitality. For example, for me, they are both fire, which means I have one black bubble. You remember that when fire to fire increases the burn, so it is one black bubble. As you saw, we have only two possibilities for negativity to manifest, and three possibilities to positivity to manifest, and one neutral. So we are kind of happy people, because we don't have that much negativity as positivity. I have only one here. So I always need to be mindful about my strength, my vitality, and my life, and dangerous situations, because I already, by my own birth, I have this seed to manifest some negativity. Okay? So then we calculate for the current year. We know that this is a year of dog, Earth dog. So let's first see on the life aspect. I already calculated everything here, but we go back to the turtle and we see, where is our dog? Our dog is located on the leg of the turtle. And leg of the turtle is what element? Earth. Because legs are on the earth. This is easy to remember. So the life element of the current year of dog, will be earth. Then, what will be the power element of the current year? Today is 2018. What is the power element?
Is it air?
Earth. Also Earth. So you see it again corresponds. Same. Then what will be the fortune? Yeah, it will be metal. Okay.
Why is it metal? Oh, 'cause the
Dog. And now we calculate this tricky body. So step number 1, we calculate on the key element chart. What is the key element of the dog?
metal.
Metal. Okay, so we put on metal. Then what is the power element of the year? Earth. So Earth, what will be to the metal? Mother. Yes. So mother element relationship between the key and the power element is mother, means the body will be wood. So body element of the current year is wood. So we calculated everything. I don't know if you want me to talk you through this one again. We can do the same exercise. So for example, we decided that the key element is metal, and we put the metal on the metal of the elements. Then we need to go until Earth, because Earth is the power element, as we agreed. Yes? So Earth will be right there, but we need to go through all the steps. And we put metal, fire, earth, wood, chakchu me sashin. Yes. Then we start from metal. So metal, water, fire, earth, wood. So wood landed on the key, on the power element of Earth, of the year. Yes. So this is wood. This will be wood. Same. Then we put them in the chart. All the elements we put in the chart. And now we start comparing. So, individual is the main person who has relationship to the year. So the SOG, the vitality of the year, who is to me, to my vitality? What is Earth to the fire? Sun, because it is one step clockwise. Okay? Then result will be neutral. Not negative, not positive, or both seeds are there, but we are kind of peaceful. Then, my body element is earth, and the body element of current year is wood. So what do? We paint this arrow on our hands, and we see what? One step skipped counterclockwise, which is what? Enemy. Yes, so enemy, I have a full negativity for my health for the next year on the first layer. Then power, you can calculate. We already did it because it corresponds the same. Fire to earth. From fire towards earth is sun, child, so it is neutral. And then from water to metal, what is the relationship? Mother. So I have a fantastic possibility to not to manifest all these negativities which popped up. And I have a potentiality for my spiritual growth this year, and good luck, and maybe even become famous, I don't know. So this is the first layer of the horoscope. That's how you can calculate. I just realized that I didn't tell you about the body. There is another thing, that if key element and power element are the same, the body element will be metal. I only talked you through this. Yes, and then if it is the same, it is metal. And here also, if it is the same, then it will be metal. And if you calculate, you play with this one, if they are same, then you will go through the same full circle and you will land on the same place of metal. So all corresponds. Body element aspect of the body has 5 elements. Okay, so this is it. And just to make sure that you got all of this and you can use it, would you like to play with this? Someone wants to give example of themselves or friends or whatever? Yes?
I'd like to have a go, because I seem to be coming out with all wood, and then I didn't know quite with the body, but I thought the body came out as wood as well. But I'm a wood dragon.
Wood dragon.
And I think that my power is wood.
Your power is wood, exactly, because you're wood dragon.
And I think you said my fortune. I think my fortune came out as wood as well.
Your fortune, let's see. Dragon, yes, it is wood.
Okay. And my key element came out as metal, I think.
Wood dragon, yes, it is metal.
And then I wasn't sure how to calculate the body, but when I did that, I thought it came out as wood.
Okay, let's do that. How would you do? You talk me through.
I can't quite do it because I was doing it, and I think you're supposed to count round, but yeah, I'm not going to quite remember.
Okay, let's put it this way. So your key element is metal.
Yes.
And you said that your power element is wood.
Yeah.
Okay, so wood is here.
Yeah.
Between metal and wood, one step is water. You skip it.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at your own hand, you skip it clockwise or counterclockwise?
I can't picture it yet.
No?
So,
Okay.
yeah, I was looking at it on the chart.
Okay. Okay. If you go from metal to wood, skipping one step, you imagine the clock.
Yeah.
So it goes this way.
So it's going up.
Is it
It's gone clockwise.
clockwise? So this friend. Yeah. So then we look at the chart. Sorry, where is the chart? Here, friend. So it will be 5.
Oh, right.
Okay. Yes. It is funny to use the hand, but once you get that, then it's really easy. Okay, and then what will be your outcome?
Is that quite, I've got all those woods in there. That must be bad then, because it's too much wood is bad, isn't it?
It depends, because you always calculate from your vitality, from your life element, towards everything else. So, for example, you said you would dragon.
Wood dragon.
Dragon. So dragon will be what?
Yeah.
What will be the vitality of the dragon?
Sorry. What?
Vitality element of the dragon. Look here, just on the turtle. Where is dragon? Here's dragon.
So the element is earth.
Earth, because it's on the limb. No? So your vitality will be earth.
Okay.
Yes? So then what would be your result? If current year is also earth,
So that,
your vitality is earth.
yeah. And then what are you asking me next?
I was asking what will be your vitality for the year.
Oh, right. Okay. So we have wood and earth.
You have earth here and you have earth here.
Oh, right. Okay.
Did you get it or not?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. It's just.
This is my fault. I apologize because you asked me about too much wood. You
Yeah.
said that you are wood dragon, and yes, dragon is earth,
Yeah.
okay, and your power element is wood. So what will be wood for the earth? Because we calculate this is the main life is vitality is the main point. Everything else is related to
I'm
that.
still not in a position where I can picture.
It's okay. That's why I'm here to help you. So your power element would be wood. So wood. What will be wood for your vitality? What would be wood for your earth? Look at your hand.
Yeah.
So wood is here.
Yeah, I can't.
You can't yet. Okay, so I will show you this one. Sorry, wood to.
So.
Okay.
From wood to earth, so you're going through.
Opposite, other way around. From earth, because earth is your vitality.
Okay. And then you're going to wood, so you're
wood.
going through. So you're trying to.
You skip one step, but are you going clockwise or counterclockwise? Look, if you go one step and you skip one step, but you're still going that direction. Is it clockwise or counterclockwise?
Yeah.
See, so this is enemy. Mm-hmm. That's correct. Yeah, it does not mean, I repeat, I need to emphasize it, it does not mean that something is really bad in your life, even though it is two black bubbles, because some other things can counteract it.
Yeah, but in general, that would mean that my power and my vitality oppose each other.
Yes. It means that your power weakens up your vitality.
Okay.
And it means that in practical life, it means that you have to do more practices to increase your power. Power is basically connected with the accumulation of merits. So you have to do practices more just through all your life to increase your merits. Also, it is always good to do purification of elements and long life practices when it comes up like that. Because how it can manifest, for example, you can find yourself in situations which another person wouldn't, but would be dangerous for you or weakening your life. Like, I don't know. Don't want to give examples, but you can imagine, no? Like accidentally, which you cannot explain, but karmically happened. Because it's in your elements. Which is not a big deal, because always you can counteract. Tibetan astrology is wonderful in terms that when you calculate all these probabilities with elements, you can always choose a right practice to do, to overcome it, or to lessen the seed of that. It's like a karmic manifestation. You plant the seed, and if you don't give water to that, to the negative seed, it does not come out. Or if you give water and sun and all this warmth and everything to positive seeds, it comes and thrives. So when you see the directions where your life and this year can lead you, you can actually be in control of your life and help yourself in that way. I would like to also show you how to use the animals on the hand, because that also can come handy. You see that animals are 12, and we have only 9 lines. Also, we do not use the middle line for calculation of animals, so we only have 8. And then there are 12 animals. Now it's very easy again. The limbs, the 4 limbs, have only one animal on the turtle. So one line on the corners will be occupied by one only animal, which are dragon, sheep, dog, and ox. Now when we look at directions, every direction has one line, but every line will host 2 animals. So east would host tiger and hare, north would host snake and horse, west is monkey and bird, and the north is pig and rat. And again, if you want to use your hand efficiently, what you have to do is to memorize the order of the elements. You can always begin from tiger because this is how astrology is calculated. It is just a convention. And touch. Touch and imagine. This is little tiger sitting there under my line. And on top of my line, this is little hare sitting, and so on. You can just touch and imagine the animal. And then go backwards. Because when you go backwards, it also helps to bring the muscle memory in. Okay? And then when you remember how they are positioned, you always will remember that head of the turtle is anger of being shoot. So it is fire. The bottom is always urine, so it is water. Here is wood and here is sword, because from east he pierced the turtle. And the limbs is earth. And then when we calculate the elements, all the limbs, they shoot towards this ring finger one. But the order, it will be very easy for you to remember the order, because this one you can use all the time, these pictures. But once you imagine that this is the turtle, and this is her head, this is her bottom, and all these things, then it will be very easy for you to associate the order of the elements on your own hand. And for example, Lama Lobsang, who is my teacher, he was always saying that one astrologer can use books and it will take ages to calculate. Another astrologer can use charts and it will be fast and easy to calculate. But what if you don't have anything? You always have your palm. So good astrologer has the palm to calculate. But the best astrologer is the one who can actually interpret the things. That was what he was saying. Okay, so that we have done. Then now, I would like to just to make sure that everything is understood. If not, you ask me questions and we go through this again. If everything is fine, I show you the partnership horoscope. Yes.
Just before you move on, could you go back to the life slide where you mentioned that in Tibetan culture you calculate from the point that the child is born, but I wasn't clear as to how you determine what year you're born on the actual chart.
Yes. Okay. When we have the date of birth, basically the way how I introduce you to this astrology is given that we know when we're born. Because when we know when we're born, we can calculate from the current year backwards through 12 animals. Or, yes, and backwards we can calculate, like, for example, today will be year of dog, okay? So we put here on the dog, and then minus 13 years will be another year of dog, minus 13 years another year of dog, so 13, 25, and so on, so on, so on, so on, until the year when we were born. We can also calculate through the age. For example, I was born in 1977. So I know that in Tibetan I am 42. How I calculate? I extract from 2018 1077, which will be 41, and I add 1.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Mm-hmm. So 2018, which is current year, I extract 1977, it will be 41. In Western system, I would be satisfied right here, but in Tibetan, I also add 1. And it does not matter when your birthday in the year, at the moment when you calculate. What matters, by the way, this is quite an important thing, that whether your birthday is before or after Tibetan New Year. That is what is very much important. Because some people who are born in January or February or March, sometimes it is just right before Losar, Tibetan New Year. And then the animal and the element will be from the previous year. Okay?
It's a bit like the Indian system of saying how many moons you've seen in your
Yes.
life, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. And for example, if you want to know whether you were born or some person to whom you calculate is born before or after Losar, you use the Merger calendar. Because in the end of the calendar there is a chart which is saying, you see, this is called First Days of the Tibetan Year according to the Parka system.
What was the name of that calendar?
It is called Merger calendar.
Oh, okay.
Basically, this is indispensable when you start calculating astrology. This thing.
Is this different from Chinese New Year?
Yes. It is very close to, but sometimes they few days or few weeks apart. Yeah.
I've also seen in some calculations they count from the 4th of February. I mean, they consider 4th of February to be the beginning of the year.
Yes, and you see there are different systems. This one is called Parka system, and this is one which is described in the text of Lochandharmashi. So when you calculate in one system, it's better to stay in one system. But otherwise, there's all subtle energies. So you see this is this chart, and then you can see what date is Losar, and then you can see whether the person was born before or after, and holds the previous animal and element or the one which is written in the birth certificate. Okay? And also, this calendar is very, very much important to choose the day when you do astrology, because there are a few negative days when you're not supposed to do astrology, which is negative. And I can tell you the names of these days. It is Yenkom, you can write down if you want. Yenkom, Wu, Shagnen, Ninag, and Nyan Pagudzom. So you can repeat again. Yenkom, Wu is W-U-L. Shagnen, Ninag, and Nyan Pagudzom. And when you open the calendar, you can see, and every day there is a feature of the day. Nyan Pagudzom. For example, today is saying features troop and Dugyal. So there is no negativity to do astrology. We are very fortunate that we can actually do some. And on the page with this picture, there are description of Yenkom and Shagnen, for example, you see. But sometimes these names, they manifest in the description of the day features under the line, you see. It happens rarely, but it does actually happen. For example, randomly I opened the 18th of June is day of Yenkom. So then we cannot do astrology. This we should remember. Okay, that is. Did we cover that?
Can I ask
Yeah.
a question between, when you say you can do something
Yes.
about your astrology, it seems like there's two quite important factors.
Mhm.
One is the relationship between the elements
Yes.
on your birth, in other words, the vertical column.
Yes.
And then there's obviously the elements of your birth related to
Yes.
the current year.
Yes.
Now, in the calendar there,
Yes.
it seems to me most of the orientation in terms of what you do
Yeah.
about perhaps enemy relationships or something
Yeah.
is to do with the particular year that
Yes.
you're in. And I haven't heard so much
Mhm.
previously. For example, in my birth,
Yes.
I have a lot of fire
Yes.
going on.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yes.
dum, dum, dum. And fire are
Yes.
enemies of each other. And so even though, like this year,
Yes.
I have very positive, lot of lover
Yes.
relationships, nevertheless, in my birth year, I'm always dealing with this, fire, sort of pile up of fire.
Yes. So this is when this aspect of interpretation of astrology comes into place, which Lama Lobsang was mentioning. Because exactly, you see, there is some contradiction, some opposition in your situation. Yes, in your seed of your own elements, there is some negativity can happen. But in this current year, there is a lot of positivity. So this negativity is just weakened. But this negativity is weakening the fantastic positivity of the year. So what you can do is just enhance the positivity. And you can imagine that there are different practices for these 4 aspects. And also Rinpoche developed this book, 4 Methods of Development. When you have negativity in the year, then you can use those amulets and recite these mantras and all these things. But for your own seeds, you need to do particular practice for yourself. If, for example, it is related with your body, the negativity is within your health, then maybe I would recommend the Buddha of Medicine and long life practice. If it is in power, I would probably recommend Ozer Chenma and also long life practice. If it is fortune, also some maybe Ozer Chenma and elements, purification of elements and long life practice. Long life practice goes like a thread to overcome everything. Green Tara as well. When something wrong happens with the power element, Green Tara is very good, because Green Tara is helping to enhance your goals and profession and find jobs and all these things, no? So something like that. Also, Lungta, if something is weakened with your vitality, then it is very good to liberate lives. The easiest way is to release fish. Okay? I don't know how you can do it in England, because I never saw a live fish in markets. In Russia, we can go to some supermarket and go to the section of fish, and there will be like some sort of pool where fish is swimming. So we buy fish and we go and bring it to the river and release. And also need to remember that better to release some fish which are more likely to survive, because if you release some tropical fish into Thames River, maybe it will die in a more unpleasant way than on the frying pan, I don't know. So we normally choose carbs, because carbs are very much more likely to survive. And then you release fish with mantra of Buddha medicine, and you make the wishes to all sentient beings to avoid death. Of course, if you happen to save a human life or some like dog is dying in front of you and you just save the dog or something like that, then probably, I don't know, maybe, yes, human life is considered to be more valuable than animal life, but anyway, so you can create some means. But this ritual is called saving from the imminent death. But for example, there is another ritual to save from delayed death. Like, for example, there are sheep in England or Wales on the fields, on the farms, and we know that some sheep will be killed and we will happily eat them, no? So you can go to this farm and buy 1 or 2 or 5 sheep and ask this farmer to mark on the ear that the sheep must die by natural old age. So this farmer get commitment with you that you already paid this farmer for the life of the sheep, so this farmer never kill this sheep. So this is the other way to save lives. And when your vitality element has potentiality to get negativity, then this is one of the most wonderful ritual to do. And I tell you, it is so powerful. I have done a lot with the fish release, and I can tell you that it's amazing. Just the action on itself, it is amazing. Not to tell that life does improve. Life circumstance does improve. I know on my own example. I'm confident in that. You see? And if fortune element is in negativity aspect, then you can do lungta, because fortune is lungta. It's called lungta. That is the thing. Any other question, or you want to see the partnership horoscope? Couple horoscope? You want? Questions? No?
How different is the life, the vitality element from the body?
Okay, vitality, it is your general condition of your life. The way that you were born and you live and you don't die. Health, body is more related to the health. Like, for example, you get flu. It is not dangerous for your life. But if your health is not good, then your vitality is weakened, so you are more tired, let's say. It is like a simplistic way to explain. Yes, like for example, longevity. If your vitality is strong, then you're more likely to have long life. Meanwhile, if your body aspect is weak, then, in general, not only in the current year. So if your body aspect is weak, then more likely you have some weak health, but still live long. Or other way around. Something like that. It's very simplistic, because you have to look at so many aspects. Anything else? You want to see the couple horoscope? Okay, I'll show you. Sorry, I lost my arrow. Okay, partnership. So this we calculate from the individual elements of the people. And there are aspects where we compare from male to female, and there are aspects we compare from female to male. Okay? So let's say that we calculated a male who was born in 1988 in the year of Earth Dragon. And we calculated all the aspects of life, body, power, and fortune for him. Okay? And then female was born in 1989, so Earth Snake, and we calculate those. So when we want to see what is their vitality of their relationship, the life, we go from male towards female. So what is the female vitality will be to the male. So what is fire towards the earth? Mother, yes? So they have fantastic potentiality for relationship. And vitality of the relationship is how long the relationship can last, how strong they are, how happy they are together as a couple. Yeah? Whether they have more potentiality for problems and conflicts or less. You see? So then body aspect is more related to children. And we calculate from woman towards man. So who is man for the woman? He has wood and she is earth. So what is wood for earth? So we step from the earth towards wood. What would be? Enemy, no? Because we skip one step and we go counterclockwise. That is clear, no? Mm-hmm. So this is enemy. Then their power, basically power aspect in the relationship of the couple is related to their household. So what is their financial situation, wealth, and like what quality of food they will eat, and whether they will have full fridge or empty fridge, sort of like that. And they both have earth. But we always calculate from woman towards man, because maybe in a traditional way it's considered that man is providing for the family. I don't know. The legend says in astrology that this is because of that. And for example, why relationship is calculated from male to female, that a woman is the keeper of the heath. Heath? We call it? Hearth, sorry. And heath. Okay. But anyway, they correspond, they have same element, and it is earth, so they have good potentiality, one white bubble. And fortune is how strong the reputation of a couple, how they influence each other spiritually, and whether they have more potentiality for good luck and everything. So in couple it manifests slightly that way. And we calculate from man to woman. What's woman's element to the man? Here it's again same, but wood and wood is clashing, so it is quite bad. Not too bad, though. That is very easy to calculate. But then you have to keep in mind combination of animals, because there are 6 combinations of animals which are considered to be negative. And if this combination of animals come to the picture, then everything which is good can be halved, and everything which is bad can be enhanced. So if there is a lot of bad, then maybe you have to think twice whether to enter this relationship or not. Although never consider astrology as the main leader for the relationship, because if you feel very good with the person and you see in astrology the potentiality for some negativities, better you do practice, wear amulet, but I would not discard the person only because some chart manifested negativities. Okay? And just only to help your relationship, not to guide yourself. So these are the animals. Monkey and sheep, and it does not matter whether male or female. Monkey and sheep is negative. Then rat and hare, negative. Then horse and bird, negative. Ox and tiger, negative. Snake and dragon, also negative. And also pig and dog, negative. Okay? So for example, these 2 people, they are dragon and snake. So you can see that all the positivities is a little bit weakened and negativities is quite strong. So might be not having children in this couple, or maybe they have children with some illness or whatever. Need to be very careful. This is when astrology comes handy, because you really, if they want to have children, these 2 people, they probably will have to monitor with doctors more carefully than any other couple. And then they might have fantastic success anyway. And to say, for example, to come back to the age, just to give you a flavor about Losar, the Tibetan year of birth. I know the girl. I did for her. The girl was born in January of 1990. You see? But in that year, if we look at the calendar here in this chart, 1990, the Losar was in February 26, and she was born in January, so she belongs to the previous year. And we calculate everything for 1989. You see how it works? We just forget that in her birth certificate is 1990. Can be misleading. Okay. Anything else? Any question?
I thought the main opposition was when you go directly, if you put all the animals in a circle, the main problem is with the one that's directly opposite you.
Yes, this is also quite... Okay, thank you for this question, Julia, because whatever I demonstrate here with partnership horoscope is very, very, very basic. There are so many layers to it. This layer number 1. When the opposite animal, it will be animal number 7, including. And it is called Dunzur. It is actually, in all astrology, for example, even if you look at the year itself, anything, year or partnership or whatever, if it manifests that way, opposite animal, which including will be number 7, it is quite a strong obstacle. Why it is called Dunzur? Dun is 7 in Tibetan, and Zur is angle, corner. So it is 7th corner. Dunzur. This is true. So, for example, a dragon with dog will not be fantastically happy. Also, I mentioned this 6 negative combinations of animals. They are main ones. Also, then Dunzur comes this opposite ones. But also there are a number of many other combinations of animals which can come into picture and also make obstacle, but it will be slightly less than these two. And another one, we need to calculate Parka of people, Parka of the birth. Parka is another category of astrology. Parka of birth is calculated with the mother, Parka of the mother on the year when she gave birth, because the baby comes out of the mother and takes the Parka and Meva of the mother of that year as the birth Meva and birth Parka. And then we compare Mevas and Parkas of people, and here when they get married, and every year Parka and Meva change, and Parka mainly very much influences the relationship. For example, if it is the same or opposite, it also can present problems. So there are many things to learn about partnership horoscope. You can spend long time to calculate it and interpret it. But this is just basic when you want to figure out a little bit. You meet a partner and you want to see, what is this fruit? Yeah.
With the negative animal combinations that you just read out, is there any easy way to calculate that?
These 6 negative combinations of animals.
Can I do that just by looking at the chart? Or
You can create your own system, because myself I don't see very much. For example, monkey and sheep, they're together next to each other. Snake and dragon next to each other. But rat and hare, no. So it's more or less random to me, it seems. And one thing I would like to add, and which I had to begin with, but remember that when you want to start doing astrology, you have to recite Manjushri mantra. And better if you want to study astrology or calculate some coherent piece of work, it's good to do 7 days personal retreat of Manjushri practice. I think that everybody of you knows Manjushri mantra, no? If not, then you need to receive loom from a teacher. So I'm not saying it because I don't have authorization to give transmission. Those who know, then you can just do. And basically, when you do the practice, the short practice of Manjushri mantra, you need to visualize this mantra in your heart center and imagine that light of wisdom of Manjushri spreads through all your body and the entire universe, cutting away all the darkness of ignorance and bringing wisdom, and that you need to develop the intention to do this astrology to help at first hand. And to keep within yourself whatever information you discover from people, not to tell other people. Gossip. This is important thing. Any questions? Or you want to practice, or we finish? What do you would prefer? All clear?
It's very difficult to make kind of argue much sense of it, because it obviously takes time.
Yes.
To memorize, understand, and make sense. So basically, your slide number 1 needs time to be digested and learned. So once this is done, then maybe one can go to the next step and then understand it, and then, because personally I find it absolutely impossible just by seeing one slide once, then get fluent.
No, exactly. No, it takes time. It takes time, absolutely. If you want to spend time right now, we can do it right now. But basically, even that will not help you very much, because this is what you need to do on your own. You need to just walk and step. Like, for example, Lama Lobsang was telling that at first year he decided not to learn anything by heart. He was telling to me. And then 1 year later or 3 years later, when he came back to astrology, he needed to start learning everything from scratch. Because if you keep it in the charts, in the slides, in the books, it doesn't help. You have to remember. You have to really like walk and put in your steps tiger, hare, dragon, snake, horse, like that, seriously. Or even put it in Tibetan language and say it in Tibetan language, because Tibetan normally is 1 or 2 syllables and it's very easy to calculate. For example, elements, myself personally, I only count in Tibetan, because all these words, metal, fire, water, it doesn't make any sense to me. Chakchume sachu, like this, chakchume sashing, this is much more easy because it's 1 syllable and then you calculate. But then you put it in 2 colors on your hand, you touch. In some ways of calculation we even leak, because we need to do different steps, like in mathematics we do formulas. To calculate 1 formula, we need to do 1 formula, the next formula, the third formula, and then everything makes sense. So same way is here, and sometimes to remember we leak a place where we put, like for example, Melwa calculation. And then we come back to that and we land on the same place, and then we know what is whatever we want to know. But everything is your own job. I did only introduction. And if you body, yes, sure. Body. So here is a general chart for people who like to do everything in linear. People who have linear perception will probably more likely use this one. We know that these are steps. So first we need to find the key element in the chart of the key elements. And these animals, they share wood element. These animals share water element. And these 4 animals share metal element. Okay, so key elements, there are only 3. Then we already calculated the power element, and now we want to see the relationship between key and power. And if the key to power element is mother, then the body element will be wood.
Which is the direction? Because that's what confuses me. Because you say the
Yes.
relationship between 2, but
Yes.
it's
From
the relationship from
key
key
to power.
key to power.
Mhm.
Okay.
From key to power. For example, in this slide, I wrote here, and I'm sorry, I wrote in Tibetan, I don't know why. From key to power. You see? From key to power, what is relationship? One of those. And then you use this line, if it is mother, will be wood. If child, then body element will be water, and so on, so on. If key and power same element, will be metal. This picture is for people who have more spatial and visual perception. I created that one so that you can have this imprinted in your visual perception. But you always remember that this turtle is tilted. Why? Because I did not find a way to do it in a way that turtle is straight. To help yourself, you can imagine. Where is the turtle? I'll show you. So, okay, here's the turtle. You can imagine that these 4 share one element, which is water. These 4 animals. Then these. So we take a couple here, then couple there, and we go take another couple in opposite, yes? And then the next 4. Like couple makes an opposition with another couple, and they share same element. And here, unfortunately, we need to imagine that the turtle is tilted. but still we can. So this will be water, this will be metal, and this will be
Can you get handouts from
wood.
them? You can print out from them, or is it in a book or something?
Print out.
Yeah.
I can send you. I can send to John, no, to Cindy or to Julia, to someone, and then because I don't know your emails, you maybe.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Julia, would you like to
If
take?
people like to put their email
Yes,
here as they go out,
yes.
and you can send that to me,
Okay.
then I can.
Yeah, I will convert it into PDF, and then it will.
Yeah, because I tried to write it down and you miss things and I can't.
Of course,
remember
yes,
what's
yes.
on it,
Yeah, yeah. I don't mind. I'm happy to share it. Okay. Is that clear? You want me to walk you through this one, or is it enough?
Yeah, but I can't mix it because there's two different ones for the body. I kind of got mixed up between the two of them. I think.
Yes.
You did that on your hands.
You will come to that when you will work with your hand, because without hand it is very difficult. Because what you need to do, you need to imagine behind each of this section, you need to imagine the normal
So
order of
that's
the.
metal here now.
Yeah.
What do you do with that on your hand?
I just put the metal. This metal I
Yeah.
put on the metal. But instead of metal, water, wood, and fire and earth, I use these ones. I walk on that chart.
Do you start on your fingers with that?
Sorry?
Do you start in a different place on your fingers with that?
Yes. You
Wow.
start with metal. You put on the metal. And then you walk on the same steps of the 5 elements like that. But you use these words. For example, if you remember how the elements are positioned on the hand, that this is wood, fire, earth, metal, and water, you don't need to even pronounce it, because you remember how they are positioned. And then you place like a transparent film of these ones, but metal you always put on the metal.
Metal, water, earth.
Sorry, I said wrong. Metal, sorry. Take it back. Metal you always put on the key element. We were calculating when the key element was also metal, this is why it corresponded. But for example, let's say that key element is earth, okay? So you put on earth, you put this word metal.
So my key element is water.
Is water, so you put on
Water's
water.
fire.
Key element is the water,
Yeah.
so you put metal on the water.
Right. Okay.
Yes,
So I start there then with my key element.
exactly. Yes.
So I go metal, water.
You go metal, then on the wood you put water, because you need to follow every
Yeah.
step.
So metal, water, fire, earth, wood.
I need to interrupt you here, because you place your fingers, your thumb you place on the tip of the fingers, but you have to follow the lines. And lines of the elements is, if you imagine that this 9 lines is the turtle, so wood element will be here, because this is where the sword is piercing the turtle, this is east. So if water is your key element, you put on water,
Yeah.
yes, and you say metal.
Okay. So metal.
Then you put on wood, because the next after water is wood,
Okay.
and you say water. Then you go to the fire, which is on the head of the turtle, and you say fire.
Fire.
And what is your power element?
My power.
Power element.
I think that was water, isn't it? Yeah, water.
Yeah, if key element and power element are the same, you don't even need to do anything. It will be just metal.
Okay. All right. So the thing was you get your key element.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Thanks.
Welcome. So, that's it.
I think. Oh,
Just
sorry.
one
Sorry.
more
Last
thing,
question.
Very quick, just to clarify, with this particular process, it's about calculating the orangutan.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we were doing body.
Oh, Okay.
One tongue is the power element, and we calculate it on the last digital of the year.
Sorry, because it says on the slide go to the one tongue element, so you're calculating the body.
Yes, you put this element on the you put metal on the key element on your hands, on that 5 element chart on your hand, and then you go you follow these steps, putting these elements until your one tongue element, your power element, like we did right now. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.